and welcome to Book Talk Tuesday. Today we are talking about an older book that is a favorite of mine called Dr. Franklin's Island. This book is by Ann Halam, and it is a science fiction book. Now, the cover doesn't tell you all that much, but you can see sort of a manta ray type of figure here and a bird up here, and those two sort of symbols on this cover are very important. Let me go ahead and tell you why. So this book is about these three kids that are on a plane and they're on their way to some conservation station in Ecuador, and there's a plane crash and they end up in the water. And so they have to swim to sort of survive. And they swim and swim until they reach this island. And on the island, they're sort of captured by this person called Dr. Franklin, and he's a mad scientist. And he basically takes them in and starts doing genetic experiments on them. He turns one of the girls, who's the narrator of the book, into a bird, turns her friend into a manta ray, as you can remember, the bird, manta ray. And then the boy that was with them, I think he sort of starts helping the doctor out so he doesn't get turned into an animal right away. But I'm trying to remember the details. It's been a really long time since I read this. But I do know he ends up turning into an animal at some point as well. So it's basically them trying to deal with these. They have like radio implants within them that allow them to talk to one another while they're in their animal forms. And they're basically trying to figure out how to turn back into humans and escape this place. This is sort of a book that's based off of a really old movie called The Island of Dr. Monroe, which is another sort of mad scientist story where he kidnaps people and tries to turn them into animals. So if that's sort of you're a fan of those types of books, I love books that deal with genetic testing and weird science gone wrong and different things like that. Like I love the Maximum Ride books by James Patterson, and I think one of the reasons why I ended up loving those books so much was because I read this book right here. So it is an older book. It might be a little hard to find. Let me actually look here and see when it was actually published. It was well, this particular version was published in 2002. But I know for a fact this book came out a lot earlier than that. I think it came out in the early 90s. So I'm going to read the back just so you get a little bit of a better summary than my bad memory can give you. So it says, "What's it like to see your best friend transformed into a bird in front of your eyes? What's it like to know it's your turn next? Semi, Miranda, and Arnie are among 50 British young conservationists on their way to a wildlife conservation station deep in the rainforest of Ecuador. After a terrifying plane crash, these three are the sole survivors, stranded together on a deserted tropical island. Or so they think. Semi, Miranda, and Arnie stumble into the hands of Dr. Franklin, a mad scientist who's been waiting for them, eager to use them as specimens for his experiments of genetic engineering." So if you want to find out whether or not they survive Dr. Franklin's Island, if they ever turn back into humans, you're going to have to check out this book here. So, yeah. See you later.